Many say para-unity is a myth. Many believe that the paranormal community is toxic, filled with egos, know-it-alls, and wannabe celebrities. Let's clear the air here and now. This thing we call para-unity is what we make it. Tonight, let's do something different. Welcome to Necromancer Live. Hello and welcome to Necromancer Live. I am your host, Justin Brown, and we are presenting episode 76, I believe. I think that number's right. I'm not sure. I will apologize in advance that we have Facebook chat, but not YouTube chat on the video, so I will have that fixed for next show. I apologize, but thank you all for joining. Make sure you share this live stream. We are interviewing David Childers this evening, paranormal investigator, photographer, actor, all kinds of stuff going on in this man's paranormal career. We're going to talk to him about the paranormal and maybe some other stuff. Who knows? We may get into it. Let me see if I can bring up Dave's bio real quick and kind of give you an introduction so we can get this show on the road. I should have had that already popped up, shouldn't I have? I'm trying to get used to this new setup that I've had to come to terms with. David Childers is founder of Mississippi Paranormal Research Institute. He's a photographer and actor for 26 years, and also lead investigator of the Chandra May Cold case file. Also has had the pleasure to investigate with Dalen and Juwan, I think is how you pronounce his name, from Ghost Brothers, on Destination America. Zach and Aaron from Ghost Adventures on Travel Channel. Patrick Burns from True TV's Haunted Evidence and Travel Channel's Paranormal Challenge. Keith Age from the Booth Brothers film on Sci-Fi Channel. Kevin Betzer and Randy Hardy. And there's much more in his bio. He's been all over the place. Ghost Asylum, all kinds of stuff. All right. So let's bring him on. What's up, buddy? I just want to thanks for coming on here. I know you didn't want to do the 2 hours because you're hard at work over here. You barely made it in for the show this evening. So luckily, my daughter had the softball practice, and we can get you in here at 9 and get you out at 10. Appreciate it, buddy. So if you guys are new to the show, we respond to questions. We'll have David ask any of your questions as long as they're within reason. Feel free to share the stream, like I said. And like I said, we can't cross-chat between YouTube and Facebook because we can't hear anything. Let me know if you can hear David okay, because I could not preview the stream at all. So, David, let's start from the roots, man. Let's rewind 26 years. Why in the hell did you ever get into the paranormal in the first place? Did you have an experience? Was it something that intrigued you? What happened?
Well, let's go back a little bit further than 26 years.
Okay.
When I was in between 12, 13, something like that, 11. I don't know, man. My family's property, it was part of the Civil War here in Vicksburg, Mississippi. And, it was a lot of activity out there over the years. But, being a kid, I saw it, but, just sort of blew it off. It was my imagination. That's what my dad always told me. Well, one day, I watched Crocodile Dundee. And I went outside and I had my boots on, my snakeskin boots, and I had shorts on. They were probably Daisy Dukes then, but I don't remember, man. But I also had my little Bowie knife. It was a wooden Bowie knife I cut out, and I was playing Crocodile Dundee. I'm outside playing around, using my imagination, and next thing you know, I look over. It was dust time. I look at the wood line. There was a Civil War soldier there. It was a guy who had a full beard and Confederate outfit. I thought somebody was trespassing on property. Dropped everything. I ran inside, told my dad, and my dad said, "No, I'm just seeing stuff, blah, blah, blah." Now, over the years, I kept on witnessing stuff in that trailer, just crazy stuff, and on the property, and that's what really got me interested into it. Whenever I got older, I decided, well, all this internet ghost hunting stuff, it wasn't on TV yet. Well, I think Ghost Hunters just came out and Ghost Adventures came out like a year before or something like that. I can't remember. But we were watching stuff on the internet, and I was over at my buddy's house. We were sitting back, we were drinking, having a good time, and we're like, hey, let's try this ghost hunting kick out. I got a thermal camera. I'm an electrician. I got a thermal camera. I was like, heck yeah, man. I got a voice recorder. Let's do it. So
Mm-hmm.
we go down to the cemetery down the road. 3 guys. We're down there for 2 hours. And one of the questions I asked, I said, did you die in anguish? Didn't hear anything. Got back to the house. Of course, they went down and partied and started drinking and stuff. I went straight up to the top to the room, going over the voice recorder, and it was an analog recorder. I got a Class A EVP. After I asked that question to the female, say, I have no time. So, and it went from there, man. And it was like 1, 2, 3, 4 groups after. Yeah, this is a 4th group, Mississippi Paranormal Research Institute, and it's going to be done. It's going to be, the main one. So that's what got me into it.
Wow. So I assume you live around a lot of battlefield, living down here in the South. So that would, definitely put you right in the middle of a lot of potential, sightings for soldiers. I know I've been to Gettysburg a couple times, and it's the energy around this locations is off the charts, man. So I have no doubt in my mind that you definitely got kickstarted in probably one of the best ways possible. You're like, ghosts are cool now. History's even cooler now. And
yeah.
So what was the first thing that, like, how did you get your group started? Did you just go with friends, or when did you really start getting serious, getting a group together, investing some real money? Like, when did you get that rolling?
Well, after the first group, me and my buddies, we called it Ghost Hunters Extreme.
Mm-hmm.
That was just something came off the top of our head, and we went with it. Well, after that, of course, we all split apart. We had, full-time jobs and slacked off on the drinking and partying, man. I'm getting old, so I had to stop that crap. But anyway, I decided to get a hold of somebody up in Jennifer Lacey up in Rhode Island. And she was like, yeah, I got a group. We need more teams, and wanted the sister group. I was like, all right, cool. True Seekers Paranormal Research and Investigations. All right, I'll go ahead and take that name over for you. And that's whenever I started building a team and started buying equipment. And that's whenever it really first started getting real serious and doing research and not running out there and saying it is a ghost and just trying to debunk most of it, thanks to Taps for, doing all that. I mean, they put the base down for her. But anyway, that's whenever it really started. And I mean, we had 30 people on team for years. And then while I was doing the truth seeking thing, me and another group, Paula from Spars Paranormal, we got together and we combined and created Delta Paranormal Project. We were together for about 3-4 years, and we split apart just because we had different, goals we wanted to accomplish. That's whenever NPRI came around. But yeah, I mean, that's whenever it just started Truth Seekers Paranormal.
Nice. That's good. You seems like you got off to a really good start with that. Do you have any original members, or has it changed a lot?
Oh, it's changed a lot over the years, definitely, man.
Can you repeat the name of your group against Sandy Griffin asked in chat?
The old group or the group now?
The group now.
Oh, it's Mississippi Paranormal Research Institute.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
But anyway, yeah. No, we don't have original members anymore. Basically, the team consists of 2 of my friends, Carl McLemore, Elaine McLemore. Then you got my dad and my wife, Jamie. And, of course, my daughter, she'll come every now and then. Madison, she'll come. And my producer, Gene Hamill, he'll come along. He's with another team now. Actually, me and Gene's the one that came up with the MPRI. But he's with another team now, but he still comes along and we film and all that good stuff. So,
what got you into photography and filming? Like, was that something you were into before the ghost hunting?
I was bored. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was bored, man. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm seeing all these shows on, and it's just something I've always dreamed of trying to be an actor or at least do something B-roll. I love being in front of the camera. And I just want to test my skills. And plus, whenever I get older, I'll have some stuff to give to my daughter and my daughters and my son. Whenever I pass away, at least they have some record of me that, hey, look, Daddy did this type of thing. But basically, that was about it. I wanted to have some sort of memory of me around for my kids to enjoy or laugh at, or be embarrassed by. And that was really about it. The photography, though, man, I really love it. I just love nature. I love the beauty of different things. It takes an eye to get it, and I haven't got there yet, but I'm getting close.
Right on. You have an extensive IMDb I see. So, what kind of got you recognized and started getting connected with people in the entertainment industry as far as getting on the shows and stuff like that? How did that actually happen?
Oh, it was emails, basically. Every now and then I'd get an email, but yet I would turn around. I'd sit at the house and was like, man, I got some ideas for a paranormal show. Let me go ahead and reach out to these, 50, 60 producers, companies. I just started sending emails out. Hey, got this going on, blah, blah, blah. And responses back. Hey, we got this going on. You want to be a part of it? You got any stories? And it went from there.
So you did some really good legwork with emails and getting, in touch with producers. It's actually pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. If you have stories to tell, and I mean, they're not going anywhere, right? So, I mean, you have to let other people know. Well, don't have to, but you would like to let other people know. Go ahead and reach out to these people and let them know that you have stories and they're bottled up inside, and you want to go ahead and make them public.
Right. Before we get too far into this, because there's a lot of questions, and that you've been doing it for a while, let's go ahead and do some shout outs. I have the girls on the call to help me out with. Missy, why don't you go ahead and start shouting out Facebook?
Okay. I have Melissa Grubbs. I have Derek Schreiner. I have Josh Bender. I have Bill Davis. I have Wes Storms. I have Valerie Wright. I have Dory Wheeler, Janet, Tammy Petty, Sandy Griffith. And we are still waiting for the Crocodile Dundee reenactment.
Uh-oh.
No.
Aww.
Aw.
Now, if it's for a fundraiser, I will do it.
Fair enough. Thanks for joining us here on Facebook. If you have any questions for David, please, by all means, just put them down in the chat and we'll get to them. We don't have many on YouTube. Do you want to go ahead and shout out YouTube?
Sure. The Orbologist is watching. Heath Edwards, Scotty Fox, and Betty.
All right. Maybe how are we going to get more people on YouTube? This is like the smallest YouTube audience we've had.
Usually when it's a Necromancer show, YouTube's extremely busy, and Facebook, you remember how that used to be when you used to do it?
We'll have to figure that one out. Maybe all the YouTube people are busy tonight. Interesting. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. If you have any questions for David on YouTube, by all means, put down in the chat. Jessica will get to them momentarily. So, David, what advice or what insight can you give people that are trying to pursue the same things you're trying to pursue? People who want to be in front of the camera, want to tell their stories, and want to do that type of work in the industry, besides getting in touch with a bunch of producers and spamming them. What does it take? What do you need? Is it something special? Is it something anybody can do? Give us an insight on that.
Well, I mean, anybody can do it. You just got to have the passion. You got to have the drive to want to do it. And that's the whole thing about it. And basically, if you do get that connection, I mean, just have the energy, be energetic about it, and let them know that you want it. I mean, that's the only thing, really advice that I can give out. You got to drive toward it. You got to let them know, hey, I want this. That's all I can really.
Well, the answer I'm kind of seeking is: do you think there's something about your charisma, something about your character, your personality that helped you?
I think it was a Southern accent.
Do you think that helped? Do you think that was something that was kind of fresh and original at the time when you started getting into it?
Yeah, well, I mean, most of the shows are up north, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many shows do you see in the South? Paranormal shows.
Not
I mean,
popular ones, not like mainstream cable networks and stuff like that I've seen.
exactly. Well, it's something different too, and also your stories. I mean, you got your stories have to be, legit, and they have to actually catch somebody's attention.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
yeah, I was just wondering because there's a lot of people that are trying to do it but never make it, and I was just wondering if you had some insight on that.
Well, I mean, there's different. A lot of people are looking for different things. Okay, they're looking for 18 to 25. They're looking for. Most of them aren't looking for the older nowadays. I don't know why. 35 and below. I don't know why they're not. But well, I can understand that because sex sells on entertainment. It does. Reality shows. I witnessed that over the years. But I mean, just be yourself and be true, and don't be nervous, and just relax and be yourself. A lot of them, they want to know your character. I mean, your character, yourself, you are the one that sells it. Just be confident.
Makes sense. Let's start talking about some really cool experiences you've had. What's probably like the standout encounters with the paranormal or anything supernatural? It could be UFOs, it could be cryptid stuff. What stands out in the 26 years that you've been doing it?
Tough. There's multiple things, man.
Give me a top three.
That scared the hell out of me.
Right. Or it not necessarily, but usually it is.
Well, I think the coolest one of the coolest ones was we were at the cemetery here in Vicksburg. It was the city cemetery. And actually, I got this video on YouTube. I went to the city tomb, and it's broad daylight. We're just out walking around, just filming, having fun, Well, I went to the city tomb, and I put the camera inside of the hole. There's 4 holes. There's 2 holes on each side, front and the back. And I put it in there. I'm not even watching. I'm sitting here watching, a couple more people walking around, looking at the tombstones, this and that. And I just got it in there. And next thing you know, there's this black mass comes across the other side of the wall and starts to manifest, and it gets bigger and bigger, which I thought that was totally crazy, man. We went back and tried to debunk it, but we couldn't. It's closed in on except for, the 2 holes. So, but it's on my YouTube page. I still haven't tried it. I still haven't debunked that yet. That was a real cool experience. Also, whenever that little girl followed me home from the wreck scene, it's the episode on Paranormal 911 called The Chapel. That tells my story about what happened. Being a volunteer firefighter, I responded to a wreck scene, and this girl ended up following me home. This teenage girl, she was with me for a few months, and finally it got down to where she was just scaring the heck out of me, man. And I was a paranormal investigator at the time. I was actually with True Seekers at the time, but I've never seen a full body apparition. I still haven't seen one like her today. I've seen them, but they're not. I mean, they're translucent. They're not completely full. Maybe 4 or 5. I mean, you rarely run across it. And I've been doing this for a long time, but that was one of the bad experiences right there. But I mean, it made me really, really believe. There's another one.
Can you tell us what episode of the Paranormal 911 that it was, so people can go watch that?
It was season 1, episode 6, I believe. Season 1, episode 6. It's called The Chapel.
Also, what's your YouTube channel? There's people wanting to see the shadow anomaly.
Okay, yeah. It's all you gotta do is just go to YouTube and put in David Childers, Childers, and it'll pop up, and you'll see my profile picture on there.
All right, guys. While you tell us one more, I'm going to go ahead and look that up, and we may take a look at it if you want me to show it.
Yeah, that's fine.
What's the video called?
It's just called Shadow in the Cemetery. I mean, it's you got to scroll all the way down.
I'm not finding your YouTube yet.
Is it a picture? All right, it's a picture of me.
I typed in David Childers, but you're not popping up yet. Maybe I'll have to. Yeah, there you are. Okay, give me one more story while I'm looking for this.
Actually, I have a question.
Okay, you can ask a question. That's fine.
Okay, I just figured it would fill up the time. Scotty Fox wanted to know why did do you cleanse yourself? Because he was asking why didn't you cleanse yourself of the follow home story?
Yeah, I mean, I do. See, that was way before I even knew what to do and how to handle that situation.
Okay. Sure.
But I mean, now I know. I know.
You learned your lesson.
Oh yeah, I definitely did, and I mean, especially it affected my daughter's life too as well.
Oh wow,
yeah. I'm gonna get choked up talking about it.
Oh, anyway. Okay, yeah.
But I mean, I've learned over the years you have to have protection. Definitely.
Right.
I mean, I go into an investigation. Me and the group, we pray. We leave, we pray. We tell the spirits, whoever there, you have to stay here. It's nice talking to you, communicating, but you have to stay here. You cannot follow us home. And it's really that easy. Because after that, I've never had an attachment, following me home. Now, the story that I was going to mention, which will be on Haunted Hospitals season 2 in October on Travel Channel this year, was Cume State Hospital. I really haven't quite. I don't think it was an attachment. This right here was something non-human. I mean, it really brought me down to my knees, and then I went to a darkness. I was the caretaker of this place, and I just got infatuated by this place, and just. I don't know. It was like a drug to me, man. I lost a lot of weight. I was always up there the whole time, not really investigating, but just walking around the place. But anyway, you'll see that Haunted Hospitals on Travel Channel.
All right, I got this. I'm pretty sure this video is exactly how you just described it. It was Cedar Hill Cemetery, Ghost, Vicksburg.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question. Do you want me to ask it before you play the video or after?
Let me play this video, and we'll go to you. Okay. Okay, let me desktop display. Okay. See if I can move this down anymore. Yeah, we're good. Okay, let me enlarge this so you can see it. And we'll play it from the beginning. We'll play it a couple times for you. Okay, yeah, it is. Okay, he's sticking the camera in the hole just like you described, and you'll see it go from right to left. That's the way I saw it. It's about this. There it is right there. It's interesting. Very interesting. And it doesn't even look like you noticed it when it happened.
And goes all the way left, and it starts to get bigger and bigger. And I'm like, how could a shadow do that? But these holes are so small. That hole is probably about that big. I was able to get the lens.
Yeah, it looks like you're struggling to get the camera in there. It's a tight fit.
It was.
But yeah, that's actually interesting. Yeah, I think you got something there. Very, very, very possible. Very interesting. All right. Well, there you go, guys. Go ahead and ask the Facebook question.
I have 2 now. Wes Storm asked, I don't understand why a spirit would follow anyone home. Can I get an explanation of why it happens?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we don't know the truth about it until we pass away. I can tell you that right now. We probably won't know the truth. But, I mean, certain spirits, entities, they could have passed away in trauma. They could have passed away with something going on. They could have committed suicide. Why? I mean, if they have somebody that they actually feel they can connect with, and they'll attach yourself to them. Say if Justin goes out to someplace and out to a cemetery, and there was a spirit there, and he looked like maybe a father figure or a brother figure or something like that, and that spirit is actually missing that 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 feeling of being around a family member. I mean, it could actually get to make themselves feel better. I mean, that's just my theory about it. I mean, if you die in something like very traumatic, and you're sitting here thinking about your father the whole time before you have the wreck, you're thinking about your father. Next thing you know, bam, you're passed away. Why couldn't that energy still be lingering around? And then next person comes along, it reminds of the father figure, and bam, there you go.
Also, I got a question that will add to that. Have you ever been to a haunted location or on an investigation where a client will either report certain phenomena to you or you experience phenomena at that location, and then when you go home, you experience the same shit at your house?
No, I've never had that happen.
Like, for example, if the client or somebody reported a TV going on and off, and then you go home and then your TV starts to go on and off. No?
Sort of coincidence type thing?
No,
like
I'm actually talking about
or
what some people might think of what attachments are. What's happened to me is you're actually connecting with the location, almost like remotely. It can get stranger than what people think. Sometimes it's not always black and white, is what I was kind of trying to ask you. Have you ever felt like something strange, like something was linking to your home from another location? It wasn't necessarily a spirit following you.
Not really. I mean, I've really never witnessed anything like that. Now I have had like coincidences, I have investigated a place and something's went on there. Something has went on. I get back to the house a couple of days later, and then next thing you know, the same thing that happened over there. Yeah, but I mean, I think that's more of a coincidence more than anything.
Okay. What's any other questions?
But yet it might be. I might have another attachment, but I doubt it. I hope not, because I don't want to go over through the same thing I went through in the past.
Yeah, I agree with you. We really don't know why. If there is something following you. The only other thing I can add to that is why if what we're investigating or experiencing is disembodied intelligences or souls or spirits, people follow people, so ghosts can follow people.
Yeah, I mean, this whole world is a big ball of energy. I mean, that's why I tell a lot of people. They ask me about if somebody's passed away, blah blah blah, the house is haunted, this and that. It's like, well, it could be just leftover energy. It's just my thinking.
Right.
Say if you 30 years, you get off work, you go home, you sit in your favorite recliner, turn on the TV, smoke you a cigarette, drink you some coffee or whatever. You do the same routine for 30 years. Whenever you pass away, why couldn't your energy be left over? A little bit of your energy be left over there. Why not? I mean, that's just something I've always looked at. Is it leftover energy, or could it be a spirit?
Right. Absolutely. Missy, did you have another one?
Yeah. Valerie wants to know, why do you think that attachments happen to some and not others?
Why?
Why?
Because, I mean, some of them, they can relate just like humans. Like, say if I meet up, one of my good friends, Ashley Godwin, we meet up, we do a little thing, investigate, do some urban X. I mean, it's just something we have like a connection there. If spirits have a connection with the living and they actually see something, they can, I don't know, it just draws them in. That's what I'm, talking about. I mean, like, you meet somebody, it could be a connection right then and there. I mean, wouldn't you want to hang out with that person instead of the person you don't have a connection with?
All right. Any questions on YouTube or anything, Jess?
Nope.
I also have Jenny jumped on, Nelson jumped on, Jim Brown jumped on, and Shannon Humphreys jumped on.
I seen
and
Shannon.
John Sitter, I don't know how to say his name, but John jumped on too.
Trying to see John. I don't see John. So maybe I need to scroll up. Has he commented?
No,
Okay,
No.
that's why. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. David, I have to ask, is there a place that if you've ever been or investigated that you wouldn't go back to?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, actually, Keene Hospital was one of them. I've already brought that one up. I mean, I can't get back to it anyway. Thank God they tore it down. Rocky Springs, Mississippi. Rocky Springs, the campground was crazy. I had a shadow just manifest right in front of me, and 3 other people saw it. Rocky Springs is definitely one of the places I would never go back to. It was like the whole town died during the yellow fever. I couldn't even tell you the date right now, man. It was years ago that I've been there. I mean, it's a cool place to check out, but if you want to investigate it, I would definitely, be cautious about it. It scared the hell out of me, and I really haven't been that scared. I mean, it was like right here in front of my face.
Just a little bit too real, huh?
Yeah, it was definitely too real, and I saw it. And the thing is, while we're out there investigating it, it was like I was like, somebody come and get close to us and talk to us. I got this recorder in my hand, blah blah blah. I went through the whole spiel, and we heard footsteps coming up behind us, footsteps coming up in front of us. On the leaves crunching. Nobody's out there, and nobody is. And I was afraid that whenever all this energy got closer and closer and got near me, I didn't know what would happen. But yeah, that's the only place I would not go back to. And I've been to a lot of places. I just had a bad gut feeling about it.
Yeah, sometimes I'm kind of crazy. I kind of want to know what would happen. I've had experiences where entities let me walk straight into them. But that was the only time I actually seen something like there for a prolonged period of time that you can actually look at and, double take, sit there, it's still there, it's like, wow. The rest of them are kind of like you said, shadow anomalies. Have you ever seen something that you thought was almost like a psychic projection, or have you ever had any feeling that you've had some type of psychic phenomena happen to you?
Oh yeah, all the time.
I definitely want to hear about that.
Yeah, I really don't like talking about it, but I will.
I know.
I like, well, all right, put it this way. I like using scientific, what we think is scientific in the paranormal field nowadays. I like using that. Me, over the years, I've acquired, seeing pictures in my head and, images. So, like, I guess it's called empathic. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I've actually witnessed all that, and some of the equipment came out, and I've got the same responses of what I saw like 10 minutes beforehand.
So that's precognition is what you're talking about.
Yeah. Even with other investigators. That's why now I get everybody to write stuff down. The people that had these gifts, I get them to write it down. Then after the investigation, we go back over and look at it to make sure it corresponds and it matches up. Now, psychic wise, I don't.
Have you ever had anything come to you in your dreams, attack you in your dreams, anything like that?
Not attack, no. But I've had stuff come to my dreams all the time. As I could dream about something, and it's like deja vu. A month later, it ended up happening. I know good and well I dreamt about it. I mean, all of us have that gift. All of us have that. And I think something like that is like God telling you, hey, you're in the right place. You're on the right track. Keep on doing what you're doing. That's what I have night terrors all the time. And whenever I wake up, I'm like, man, I gotta forget this. Because I don't want it to happen type thing. That's how I got to be careful with. It's hard to explain. It really is. I mean, if you were in that situation and you knew your dreams come true almost all the time, whenever you have nightmares or something scary, you don't want them to come true. You just got to try to control it the best you can. I've never been through training on it, so I don't know. I mean, I just go with the flow. Yeah, it is. I mean, I just go with the flow of it, man. If it happens, it happens.
Any other questions on Facebook or YouTube.
Yeah, Melissa Grubbs wants to know what location is at the top of his bucket list.
What?
What location is at the top of your bucket list?
Oh, man, Colosseum in Rome. That'd be one of the great places. I'd love to. Well, also Alcatraz. I'd love to go to Alcatraz. You know, really, I would like. Those are the biggest ones because they're so known. But I would like to find a place out there that nobody's ever heard of and investigate it, and do some film there and see what happens. But those are the big ones. I've done Manfield, Waverly, all that. Well, even the Omen House might be a good one. I have no idea. Yeah, I heard Zach bought that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I heard he bought the old Sharon Tate house.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. I didn't know he bought the Omen House.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I have money than sense.
You have what?
He has more money than sense.
Yeah, that might be true.
I have a question.
Okay.
On YouTube. Dan from Supernatural Lost Adventure says, how does David determine what is real and what is not? This field is all about interpretation and passed down over time. Does he have certain views on what he believes or not?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you just have to...
Orbs.
Thank you. I was just about to say. I mean,
I was reading your mind.
It's yes. I mean, it's basically. I'm trying to say this in a nice way, I wouldn't say. Common sense would tell you. I mean, if you're sitting here and you see something down the hallway, let's say you see a shadow figure. Did you see it in your peripheral vision? Did you see it straight on? I mean, you got to debunk this stuff and to push it down, research it, and figure it out. I would never, ever, ever call anything paranormal until I actually find out for sure it's something I could not explain, because that's what paranormal is. Something you can't explain. I mean, and you can go back to the orb thing. I mean, come on, hell, I'm a photographer too. I mean, that all it is either the flash is going to sit here and it hits that dust particle and then it comes back and it shows, hey, look, there's something here. All it is dust.
Right.
But I mean, you just got to do some research and just think, man. And I mean, that's what's problem with a lot of weekend warriors that just start in this field. They're just going out there and say, oh, yeah, it's a ghost right there. It's got a face. No, man. Do your research and find out what it is before you say it is a spirit.
Right. My main problem is a lot of people don't understand the psychology when it comes to pareidolia, especially audio pareidolia. They use in the ghost boxes and the apps and everything. What's your take on all that?
Oh, hold on. I got to plug my phone in and make sure it's going. Me? Nope. I will stay away from the spirit box, the ghost box, the SP. I stay away from that 100% because you're scanning through AM, FM stations. It doesn't matter what sweep you're on. You're scanning through it. Eventually, something's going to come. A human voice is going to come across. It's nothing paranormal. I mean, it's there. It's right there in front of your face, just like a lot of these apps out there. These apps are programmed, all these words, it's like 3,000, 5,000, 6,000 words and syllables are programmed in these apps, and they're scanning through just like that is. You're going to eventually hear something if you want to hear it.
And even if something did get manipulated, how could you tell? You couldn't, right?
Nope. Even if you have a K2, you have a voice recorder. Now, if you have the voice recorder there, you might be able to, if you get a class A EVP after it can finish in that sentence, maybe. But other than that, you couldn't, man. Even if you record it, how could you say if it is? I mean, unless it sits here and says David Michael Childers, I'm talking to you right now. Okay, all right. Well, that probably is paranormal. That probably is somebody, coming and talking to me.
Right, right. Yeah, well, rarely are we able to capture things on multiple devices to validate it. But once you find out that, if you do run redundancy with your experiments, you find more and more that you can debunk a lot more, and the things that are legit you can validate. Like the very first EVP I ever validated was I had a shack hack just play nothing but static. It was the noisiest, most annoying sound, but there was nothing but static coming out of it. And we were asking questions, nothing came through. But when we played back the digital recorder, that's where we got the response. Nothing on the camera, nothing on all the other audio equipment. It was just on that one recorder. That's when you know.
And see, and that's cool because you were using white noise, right?
Yeah.
You were using white noise as the back end. That's why I tell a lot of people, I mean, don't listen to what's coming out of that box. Don't listen to that. Listen to what's coming off your recorder, because over the years, we've all used white noise, brown noise, pink noise, whatever else noise is out there now. We've all used it. Don't listen to that. Listen to your recorder. I don't know. From what Keith Age told me one time, that pink noise, I think it was pink noise, actually sort of sends off radio signals or something. I haven't done the research into it. That was years ago. But, I mean, it's something to look into.
Yeah, the only thing I know... hold on just a sec. The only thing I know about pink noise is it's a certain subset of frequency from the white noise. So you can kind of zero in on a certain frequency. But other than that, I don't know if, there's anything else to it. Go ahead, Jess.
Betty wants to know, what is your take on Ouija boards?
Ouija boards? Man, I back in the day, I was like, no, you'll go to hell, you'll get it done. Your demons will come out, blah, blah, blah. Nowadays, man, it doesn't bother me. I mean, I've tried them and played around with them many a times. Nothing ever happened. I mean, all right. The thing is, you're using your body. You're using your body to sit here and pull. Supposedly, you're using your energy to sit here and get these spirits to talk to you while you're moving this thing around. What do they call it? A spade or something like that? I don't know.
Planchette.
Oh, now the voice recorder. You're holding a voice recorder in your hand. You're doing the same thing. You're asking questions, moving it around. I mean, what would be the difference between the voice recorder and the Ouija board? I don't know. What do you think? What do y'all think? Is there a difference between the Ouija board and the voice recorder?
I think so. You have to touch the planchette with the Ouija board, and it's almost like I believe in the idiomotor effect, because if you blindfold the people doing it, they can't spell anything, but when they're seeing it, they're subconsciously moving it to letters. You know what I mean? So you have to run experiments to roll all that out if you're going to be doing that. The recorder is, if you're quiet and something happens, especially if you have another recorder that captures nothing, and that's the difference, right?
We have a special guest in our Facebook chat that just signed on.
I see Mother.
Mom is watching.
Hi, Mom. I see you there. So yeah, Ouija boards. They got a pulse, their finger on the pulse of paranormal pulp culture. The fear and the the whole horror genre has taken advantage of those cases that a lot of Catholic priests have said led to possessions, and pulp culture horror movies just ran with it.
It's stereotyped. That's the way I look. I'm not scared of it. I'll play around with Ouija board. I've never, ever, ever got anything off the Ouija board. Now, there's probably people out there that have. I don't know. I mean,
it is intent. If you're trying to contact things, you can bring something about.
Yeah, if you really want it. Yes, you can.
I believe that. Any other questions, ladies?
No, not right now.
Nope.
All right, we're clear. Well, what would you... Oh,
Donna said she's been here the whole time. She just hasn't said anything.
Oh, she's lurking.
She's trolling us, and we don't know it.
Well, David, what I'm going to ask you is what. I mean, I probably think I know what you're going to say, but what would you tell people starting off that are already investigating, what are the staples of a paranormal investigator as far as their tools? What do you need? What do you not need?
Well, starting off, for one thing, before you go out there, if you're green at it, get with the paranormal team first. That do some research on them, make sure they are credible. Get with them first, and that's where I would go from there. Instead of being a weekend warrior, jump out there and like we did. We started off, and next thing you know, I got an EVP, and you need somebody to actually teach you. But voice recorder is definitely one of the biggest things. I love voice recorder.
Which one would you suggest?
Me, I like Olympus and Sony. I had the Sony in the past with the little. It had a USB already into it, and you just click it out, plug it in, and bam, you can download all your stuff. And Sony was real good. It would pick up a train like 7 miles away and hear the whistle and stuff inside a house. So it worked out great. Also, you can get. Starting off, it's pretty cheap, $200 for the FLIR, mini FLIR that plugs into your phone or iPad. That's pretty cool to have. You could use it as hardcore evidence. You could use it as evidence, but I wouldn't. But evidence-wise, I would use pictures, digital camera, and know how to use the digital camera. The voice recorder, and really, motion detectors, they work pretty good. But you also got to have a night vision camera that's actually pointing at it and make sure a rat or anything don't run across it. That's what I would use just starting off. Now you could get a K2 meter or maybe a gauze meter or something like that, but you got to know actually how those single axis detectors work. Trifield's pretty good. What is Trifield? Trifield's triple axis, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can get a Trifield and learn how to read it. That's probably more reliable than any of them. But you also got to look at different stuff. Just do your research on it. It's really not hard. There's so much information out there about how to become a ghost hunter or how to do your investigations.
Yeah, the Trifield I liked, but it doesn't tell you what axis it's picking up on. That's the only thing.
Right. Yeah.
But it has a larger field of detection, so it is better than a single axis. And I had a question I was going to ask you about the thermal of the FLIR. Do you believe that it is a good tool because it's only good for surface temperature?
Right.
Do you think that what's the best use for it? Like I've always told people that if you have trigger objects or a chair or a door that you've seen move or get touched, have you ever seen heat anomalies on stuff like that?
I have seen just heat just come out of the wall at a certain period. Actually, you know what? Actually, here in Vicksburg, we're doing the Haunted Vicksburg Ghost Tour, and I had the FLIR up, and I'm sitting here watching it dead still. And it used to be an old kitchen. Back in the Civil War, and the tour guide was telling the story about what happened to it. It actually caught on fire. And whenever he started talking about a kitchen on fire, that whole thing just got bright red. It was weird. I had 30 people sit here watch it. It got bright red on there, and it looked like it was on fire. So, and then after he got through, I got it on video. It's actually, I think it's on our YouTube channel. It's one of our episodes, Mississippi Parachasers. But
do you want me to bring it up or?
Yeah, you can. If you can find it, they're 15, 45 minutes episodes. We have like 10. Yeah, you ain't got to worry about that. But
I'll just put your YouTube in the chat so they can look it up.
I have questions.
Okay.
Bill wants to know what you think of the DR60.
The what?
The Panasonic DR60. That voice recorder that a lot of people say are the best ones. That's the voice activated one from the 20 years ago.
I've never used it. It's also like the real time voice recorders they have that are voice activated. But if it's voice activated, yes, put that thing stationary and make sure you're further away, and put it stationary in a room, say on the second floor, and you're on the first floor. I would use it. I would use it in a heartbeat, man.
All right. Is that all the only question you had?
Valerie asked, what paranormal experience did you have that impacted you in a big way?
Well, I mean, we can go back to the experience I had, with the little girl following me home. But yet there was one that really impacted me. We were investigating Mansfield State Reformatory, and me and Tammy and Rich we had like 30 people there, different teams, and they were all spread out investigating the place, and we were taking a break. We were just going to watch the DVR because we had the DVR set up in solitary confinement. Well, Tammy, we were there for like 10, 15 minutes. Tammy's like, David, look, at the end of the hallway. There's somebody there. I look over, and it looked like a figure standing there. So we grabbed just a mail meter, which, we can talk about the mail meter later in the future, I guess. That's a meter I would never use. It was so crazy the way it acted.
Oh, why won't you use a mail meter?
Mail meter, because of the calibration on it, needs to be calibrated, and it was just always, I went through 3 of them, and it was always up, down, just showing false readings. I finally, after the third one, I was done with it. I mean, it'd last for maybe 6 months, and
I gotcha.
It would go crazy. But we grabbed what equipment we could, small equipment, went running down to the end of the solitary confinement where we saw the apparition. Nothing there, So we go around the other side, and Tammy starts provoking a little bit. Hey, I'm a female. You haven't seen a female in a while. Come here and talk to me, this and that. And next thing you know, she grabs her stomach, and she yells. She was like, oh, my God, it feels like something, grabbed my stomach and just, pulling the breath out of me. And I look at her, I'm just joking around. I was like, yeah, it's probably just gas, And her husband laughs, and she hits her knees, and her face is like just red, dude. And she was like, something has me, something's holding me. Help, help, help. And I go over there, I try to pick her up, couldn't pick her up. Her husband's like, leave her alone, yelling, screaming, stop. I'm trying to get this woman up, and I cannot do it. Eventually, it stopped, and actually, we can go back to the mail meter on this, because the mail meter at that time, the temperature said 66.6. I don't know, could be a coincidence, but it was just weird how it happened. I finally get her up and take her back to the cafeteria, the meeting area. She pulls up her pants leg, and there's marks, all fingerprint marks, red marks all over her thigh and stuff. It wasn't me, and it wasn't her. She was holding her stomach, and I was holding her stomach. And she has it all on video too. I mean, it was pretty wild to me. I mean, that was the only time I really seen somebody actually get attacked, and that was an impact on me, because I was like, yeah, this shit could happen. You got to be careful where you go, type thing. Right. And I mean, Kuhn Hospital, I had a girl get a plug of hair pulled out of her head, and it was bleeding and everything. That was on video. So,
yeah. It was a while for me to believe, for myself, that things like that can actually do things physically to you. Yep. And once that happens, there's no looking back there. You really got to, do what you can to be careful, show respect, know when you're getting in over your head. We did talk about protection. What do you do specifically? Do you use prayer? What do you do for protection?
Yeah. I go in and I pray to Jesus and pray and keep him safe, pour his blood, shelter his, cover his blood all over us and keep us safe. Don't let any evil spirits or evil non-human, entities follow us home. We use different religions as well. And my wife is Wiccan. And I have a couple more people that are different into voodoo, hoodoo, and all that stuff. And they use their prayers as well before we go on the investigation, because you never know what you're walking into, what they can relate to, what religion they can relate to.
Right. I believe that as long as you have faith in it and it's for good intention and for good, then it all works equally, is what I believe.
Absolutely. You're right.
So we're coming up to an hour. Is there anything that you want to plug? I have your Twitter, your Instagram. I have your photography linked in the video description on YouTube. Is there anything you want to plug? Do you have any events coming up? Do you want to direct anybody anywhere?
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, we got Belmont Plantation October 12th in Greenville, Mississippi. There's only 5 tickets left for that event. It's during the Civil War. It's a big plantation. Uh, let's see what else. Oh, we got just watch. You have to watch my page because we have another one coming up in Louisiana at the Devil's Knot. We're going to be investigating that haunted place. I mean, it's in the woods too, so it's probably going to be another Hell's Gate episode coming up. We also got a couple of weeks. I'm going to bury Gene Hamill alive, my producer, which I'm going to bury him alive. And basically, what we're doing, we're working on your mind. Hey, look, is it paranormal or is it you just thinking it is type thing? It's more detail to come on that in the future. I think that's really about it, except, me and Ashley Godwin, we're going to do some Urbex stuff here in the future. Just watch my page. And
the page, is it the MPRI page on Facebook?
Mississippi Paranormal Research Institute, the like page, and also my page, David Childers, Childers. I have a like page and my personal page. Hey, just send me a friend request. I add you.
Awesome, man. Is there any other questions that we didn't get to real quick?
I have one. What do you do to prevent spirits from going home with you?
Everyone's concerned about these things.
Prayer. Like Justin said, faith, believe. I mean, whatever you believe in, whatever religion you believe in, give that a shot. I mean, I've always prayed, my religion. And like I said, I have a couple of other people that come in and do the same thing. But, it's real easy just to say, hey, look, you can't follow me home. You have to stay on this property. You have to stay in this house. You don't have permission to follow me home. Okay. Thank you for talking to me and communicating with us, and you have a good night. It's real easy. Just be simple about it and don't provoke.
Sometimes things you can get wrapped up in things that are bad. You might have to go to somebody for help, and definitely have somebody there. You got a phone number or you got a contact. It could be a member of your church, a church leader. It could be a metaphysicist that is, specializes in these sorts of things. Just definitely have that resource there. I would add that to it.
Yep.
All right, David. Everybody, his links are in the YouTube video description, the Facebook. Just go to Mississippi Paranormal Research Institute on Facebook. David Childers like page, and like you said, you can send him a friend request. I linked his YouTube channel in the chat, so definitely check out his YouTube channel. David, thank you very much for your time. I'm glad I had you on here. I think everything you said was great, man. I think I definitely had a takeaway from the things you said, and I appreciate your time. I really do, and I wish you luck with all of your endeavors.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Great show. Thank y'all for inviting me on, and I'll talk to y'all later, man. Rock on.
All right. If you need to go, you can end the call, but I'm going to wrap up the show, or you can just hang out as long as you want. But I'm going to go wrap it up, buddy. You have a good one.
All right, brother. All right. Bye.
All right, guys. Well, extend your thanks to David. Go to those links. Definitely check out everything that he's been doing. The show is about paranormal unity. We try to support each other. We try to learn from each other. There's always a takeaway. There's always something someone is willing to give that's valuable to everybody, and that's what we try to do on the show. So I extend my thanks to you guys. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for supporting this show. Thanks for watching, sharing, chatting. It all helps out. It all is very much appreciated. You can check out our links as well in the video description if you want to check out Interface Death's Paranormal Research. We have a website at interfacedeath.net or .com. You can go to our patreon.com/support Interface Death to see how you can support us financially and get rewarded for that. We'll go more into that in a moment. You can check out the Necromancer live show on Facebook if you're watching on YouTube and want to cross over. You can follow Interface Death on Twitter and Instagram. We always update everybody on Twitter on what's going on, and Instagram is full of our photography and the places we've been. So definitely check that out. Patreon is a way to support us. If you are serious and really want to support what we are doing, our documentaries, our live shows, our paranormal research, everything, you can go there. You can donate pledge $1 a month or more. There's different tiers. The more you pledge, the more rewards you get. The people you see on the screen make this content free for everybody to watch and make sure that it's just here to stay and gets better and grows. People like Clay Borman, Katie Turner, R.J. Murphy. This is really hard to read. Let's see if I can pop this open. Casey Schreiner, Jessica Bias, Paranormal Reporter, Joe Vitelli, Heather Elliott, Betty Kegley, Cherry Capital Shadow Seekers, Kelly McConkey, and the Ghost Guild. Thank you very much. Extend your thanks to them. You even get listed as producers in our videos if that's something that you're interested in. And I'm going to leave it there. You guys have a good night. Our next date for a Necromancer show, if you're curious, I'll check my calendar really quick. I cannot remember. It's definitely somebody from Wayward's Paranormal Promotions, I think. Vicky Burnett. We're having Vicky Burnett the 21st of August. We have another My Paranormal Soapbox episode Tuesday. We're going to be, if you want to vote for topics for My Paranormal Soapbox, that's another perk if you're a Patreon. So just stay tuned. Check out the social media links and keep updated. Stick around if you're new to the show. We have some video promotions and some ads at the end of the show. You're in my heart. Thank you very much. You guys have a good night. We'll see you next time. Do you have that drive? That morbid curiosity to explore the darkness? Do you have what it takes to brave the night? You do? Good.
Dead light. For those who aren't afraid to see what lurks in the night.
I'd like to see you. What the fuck was that?
in this room? I'm hearing the train.
I just heard something.
It feels like it's train. Non-stop. I don't know why. A lot of chaos a few times. A lot of hectic and a lot of energies all at once. Feels like there's an older gentleman, like he's almost angry.
So we walked out to the side of the house and we both felt like something was watching us. So at the same time, we turn and we look up at the tower and we see a man standing there. He was an older gentleman and he had, like his cheeks were kind of hanging down and his gray hair was swept back and he had a maroon dressing gown on.
I do believe that I have some sort of ability, or genuinely I could be in this house all day, all night without any complaints whatsoever. It's just that comfortable. A lot of people think just because it's haunted and just because it has paranormal activity that automatically you're supposed to run screaming for the hills, but in this place it just feels like home.
I heard footsteps.
5-degree increase.
It walked away. It's behind you.
This is Jason Bland, host of Midwest Paranormal Presents Paranormal Soup, where we stream live as a webcast every Sunday night, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern, with guests who will blow your mind. Live ghost box sessions where you can call into the show to see if the spirits will talk to you, and the world wide web of weird with the latest in paranormal news and evidence. We're bringing the weird every Sunday night, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow and subscribe.